Hey, good morning. This is the time and place for the zoning case hearing of Wednesday, August 15th, 2012. My name is Vilya Zamataitis, and I will be conducting the hearing as the hearing officer. We have one case today, and the relevant exhibits are posted on the panels directly behind me. Under the provisions of Title 30, Chapter 30.42 of the Glendale Municipal Code, a conditional use permit shall be granted if four required findings are present. They are: 1, the proposed use will be consistent with the elements and objectives of the general plan. 2, that the use and its associated structures and facilities will not be detrimental to the public health or safety, the general welfare, or the environment. 3, that the use and facilities will not adversely affect or conflict with the adjacent uses or impede the normal development of surrounding property. And 4, that adequate public and private facilities, including utilities, landscaping, parking spaces, and traffic circulation measures, are or will be provided for the proposed use. If the evidence presented in the application and at the hearing meets all of this criteria, then the planning hearing officer can either approve or impose conditions for approval on the case in question. If the findings of fact are not present, then the request will have to be denied. Notification of the hearing was accomplished by the use of public notices, which were mailed to property owners within 500 feet of the subject property, physically posted on the site in question, and placed in the newspaper. The hearing will proceed as follows. I'll read the description of the applicant and his request. I will then read the reports received from other city departments and other letters and communications from interested parties. The case planner will make a brief overview of the case, give analysis, and make a recommendation. And then the applicant will be asked to come forward stating both name and address, and will be asked to present the case within a 15-minute time limit. Others in support or in opposition to the application and interested parties will be asked to come forward to speak, again clearly stating both name and address for the record within a 3-minute time limit. Lastly, the applicant will be given the opportunity to make closing remarks, if desired, in response to the testimonies given by the preceding speakers. The hearing will then be closed and the case taken under submission. After the hearing, the decision will be prepared in writing and will be in the form of a letter sent to the applicant and to all persons who responded to the public notice, either by speaking at the hearing or by submitting written responses and have provided their name and mailing address. The date of the decision will be the date appearing on the letter. Under the appeals provision of Title 30, Chapter 30.62 of the Glendale Municipal Code, the decision may be appealed to the Planning Commission within 15 days of the date of the decision. Anyone wishing to appeal may obtain forms and brochures on the procedures from Building and Safety Section Permit Services Center, located on the same floor of this building. If you wish to speak, please write your name and address on one of the speaker forms provided at the front door and submit it to our staff. I would also like to inform everyone that the official proceedings of the zoning administrator hearing, or in the planning hearing officer hearing that is, are recorded on tape as part of the public record. Again, as stated, we have one case on today's agenda, the conditional use permit, case number PCUP 1220042. It is a renewal of an existing CUP. It is for the property located at 2235 Honolulu Avenue, and the applicant is Levon Kanjan, and the property owner is Anthony Fernara. The case planner is Milka Toledo. The project description involves an application for the renewal of a conditional use permit to allow the continued sale, service, and on-site consumption of beer and wine at an existing full-service restaurant located at 2235 Honolulu Avenue in the CR Commercial Retail Zone, described as Lots 66 and 67, track number 1701. In reviewing the comments from other departments, there were no significant comments. The police department, and I believe that Milka Toledo will probably go over the figures in your staff report regarding the concentration within the census tract as well as the crime stats. But the police department comments, including those statistics, and there were no significant other comments. They actually suggested a total of 11 conditions as part of the approval, and those will be dealt with accordingly. There are no open code enforcement cases, and these were based on the comments from Neighborhood Services, and all of the other comments essentially are just either no comment or standard conditions. So with that said, I would like to turn hearing over to Milka Toledo for a staff presentation.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Zematitis. As you stated, this is a conditional use permit to allow the continued sales and service of and on-site consumption of beer and wine at the existing full-service restaurant that is located in the Montrose Shopping District, which is the CR zone, commercial retail. The project does have a conditional use permit that was granted for a period of 10 years. However, it has expired. That conditional use permit, case number 10347-CU, was granted September 25th, 2002, and again, it was granted for a period of 10 years until June 30th of 2012 of this year. Also, there is an old variance case number on file, and the reason why I'm going to highlight it because it relates to the parking, because there is no on-site parking, so just for the record to show that there is a variance on file for that, case 9884-S, and that was granted back in 1999 to allow a full-service restaurant without providing parking. Today, the applicant is here again for the renewal of their existing beer and wine license. The property is located on Honolulu Avenue, just just east of Ocean View Boulevard, east of Verdugo Road, or west of Verdugo Road, rather. And the subject tenant space is approximately 2,471 square feet. It is developed with a building that has 3 tenants, so they occupy one of those tenants. The remaining uses on the site are retail uses, and again, with no on-site parking. Can you hear me now? As stated, the property is located in the Montrose Shopping Park District, and there are public parking lots within 500 feet of this site: parking lot number 7, parking lot number 1, and parking lot number 3, which I'll go over a little more in detail as I continue along in the presentation. So as stated, this area in the CR zone has many retail uses, including restaurant uses, which is very typical in the Montrose shopping area. And one of those components in a restaurant is to offer beer and wine. And that is a permitted use in the zone. However, it's conditionally permitted, so therefore a conditional use permit in accordance with the land use element is what's required, and that's why they're here today to renew it. They've been operating since 2007, so they do have a zoning use certificate on file. And they propose to maintain its existing hours of operation, which would be from 11:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. during the week, and to 10 p.m. on the weekends. I do have a condition, though, of approval, which deals with the hours of operation for the sale of alcohol, which I'll just briefly highlight since I'm not going to go over every single condition. Condition number 21, consumption of beer and wine will only be in those areas, in those same licensed areas. Sales, service, or consumption of beer and wine shall be permitted only between 11 a.m. to 12 midnight each day of the week. So they do fall within that recommended condition. According to the police department, the property is located in a census tract 3006, where the suggested limit is 7 on-sale alcohol establishments, and currently there are 32 establishments in this tract, including the subject restaurant. Obviously, we can note that there is an overconcentration of alcohol service in this census tract. However, the fact that there is an overconcentration of license did not appear to be an issue for the Police Department of Neighborhood Services, since I'm assuming this particular restaurant is already one of the 32. So they already have the license. Again, they're just proposing to renew it. In addition, in this census tract, there were 130 crimes reported, 106% above the citywide average of 63. One would think that one of the reasons why there's a high crime in this area is because that this area is located with a lot of retail, and that may be an issue for the high crime. Staff does recommend approval. There are findings in support of this application, and if there are any further questions, I'll conclude my presentation.
Thank you, Ms. Toledo. I have one speaker card, and this is for Lavon, who is the applicant. So please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Levon Khanjian. I'm representing the owner of 2235 Honolulu Avenue regarding the permit renewal PCUP 1220042. I've been hearing everything good about this project, and they mentioned it, since 2007, we never had any problem with alcohol or any problem in the job site and the project location. We're not trying to get hard alcohol license. All we're trying to do is still continue whatever we had, which is beer and wine, because we would like to continue the same style of restaurant we're having, which is Mediterranean and Italian cuisine, and this is a family-oriented business. We don't have big screens, so we can attract all the sport people, having big noises and all those things. For environmental, we're not doing any addition, we're not doing any extension to the restaurant area or beer and wine consumption area. We're still the same area, we're not adding to it. Parking, there is plenty of parking. Thanks for the city that they provided all those parking spaces. If we're gonna say if I have to speak about the conflict of interest, like every restaurant that they have beer and wine, we would like to keep the license so we can have people coming enjoying our wine and enjoying the food. We don't want any extra people that they come for hard alcohol. We would like to keep the business within family-oriented. I don't know what else I can say.
No, that's fine. Now, you are the applicant representing the property owner, is that correct?
Yes.
But you are not the business operator?
No.
Okay, is the business operator directly behind you?
Yes.
Okay. And the current restaurant has been in operation the way it is currently since 2007?
Yes.
There are no plans to have any changes whatsoever into the operation. You're not noticed a proposed condition of approval, no live music, no live entertainment?
No.
So, and that is fine in terms of the business operator accepts the proposed conditions of approval, both in terms of hours of operation and the uses on site in terms of, not the uses, but the ancillary uses such as any live entertainment or amplified music or anything like that. Okay. So I see a nod in the audience. All right. So with that said, because this is a renewal of an existing CUP, I am probably most likely going to approve the application. One question I have, in the proposed conditions of approval, there was a 5-year time limit for the CUP, although the previous CUP was approved for a 10-year time limit or time period. I don't see, you're not planning on selling the property anytime soon, or? Not at the time. Okay. So I will just make note of that, the time difference. With that said, this concludes the planning hearing officer hearing, and you will be notified with regards to a decision letter.
Thank you.
Thank you.